We are going to be taking a quick look at Indian Tree Golf Course today, and we're wanting to know the basic ways to operate this website. Most of these things are fairly simple. We'll go through them one by one, and hopefully by the end you know how to use this website effectively. To log in, you go to indiantreegolf.com/wp-admin, and you should have a username and password set up so that you can log in. And we're in here now. Everything on this dashboard area is completely useless, except for these menu items here on the left side. So we're going to go down through these menu items and explain the basic usage of each one of those, and then once we've done that, you should be able to know what you're doing. We have updates over here. We come in every couple of weeks and we update these plugins and themes, and we have some that are ready right now. You're welcome to do that. Every once in a while, we end up in a position where there is one of these updates that causes a problem, and so that's why we prefer to do it. But everything gets backed up here, as you can see, and so if we ever make changes, or if you ever make changes, then there should be a backup of this available, and we can restore it, and you probably won't lose any work, or if you do, it'll be very little work that you would lose from this. So everything is updated now, and we can move on to posts. Posts are not in use on this website, I don't believe. Let me check just to make sure. It's been a bit since we made this one. No, we just have this sample one that was there, and we'll throw it in the trash. We'll cover the same basic functionality that comes through posts through pages anyway. We have media here, and you can see all of your media items within this section. You wouldn't typically be using this as a place to upload or to delete media or anything of that sort. Normally you're doing that through the individual pages or through a widget or through the slideshow. So you can come here and you can see it all here, but it's not the primary way you will access it. We have Gravity Forms here. And Gravity Forms is used for the Contact Us form and for the Interest in the Villa Lots form. If you go into Edit, you can see that this is pretty self-explanatory. We have name, email, phone, and how we can help you down here. Click on one of these and you get some more options. You can make it so that you have a middle name required as well. You can make it so that the whole field is required or not required. We have some more advanced things over here that probably won't impact you. If you ever have questions about those, you can ask or you can experiment with it yourself. Over here we have some standard fields that are, again, pretty self-explanatory. We have a drop-down menu, and we have radio buttons. If you click on any of these things, it adds it over here. You can also just click and drag and put it where you want it to go. If you want to enter in some options, you just enter them in here. Choice 1, choice 2, and so forth. And you can make it so it says something different. And once you're satisfied with the way these things are going, you click Update Form, and it becomes live on the website. And we can go take a look at that real quick. We're not going to make this live, but we can see that it shows up over here. And any changes you make on this form will show up there. The other settings we have on the forms are confirmations and notifications. Those are the things that you need to be concerned with. The confirmation is what pops up after somebody has entered in their form, after they submitted the form, and right now it just is a generic "thank you for contacting us, we will get in touch with you shortly." You can make that say whatever you want it to say. You could add in an image. You can make it so there's even a slideshow on there, or you can link these things up to somewhere else. You can make it redirect to a page on your website or redirect to an outside website. We also have notifications, and notifications are the emails that go out on the basis of having submitted a form. And so it's set to go to the admin email right now. We can set that up to whatever email we want. When somebody is contacting you all, then it can go to whatever email address or whatever set of email addresses you want. If you ever want to make changes to it, you come in here and you click Update Notification. You can also make it so that you have more than one notification set up. You can go to different people based on different circumstances, or a different message goes to a different person. And you can do that by clicking Add New up here. You can go over here and look at entries and see the people who have entered. And this is making me think that we don't have the honeypot set up, since we have some problems right there. No, we do have that set up. Well, we have a couple of spam things in there. Every once in a while those will come through, but for the most part the honeypot works pretty well, and we don't have too many spam entries. The other things on here aren't too important, except for you can create a new form, of course, and that's how you would do it. And you enter in the name, and everything else functions the same once you are in there. We have settings, and those aren't settings that are really relevant for you. Import, export, updates, nothing too much. Add-ons, nothing that you would need to worry about too much. If you ever want to accept payments directly through the website on Gravity Forms, then you can get that through there, but you'd probably need a little help setting that up, so you'd probably want to let us know and we could help you out with that a bit. We have pages here. The pages, as the name would imply, control all the pages on the website, except they do not control the home page. That's done a little bit differently. If you want to change anything on a page, you go here and you can click Edit. So we're on the About Us page here. We have this image up the top. We have all the text beneath it. This functions like a word processor. And so then if you want to make changes to the parts within this, let's say we want to make it bold, then we can make it bold. If we want to make it italicized, or if we want to make it a different color, any of those things happen in here just like they would in Microsoft Word or something of that nature. We can also link this up to somewhere else, and so we can type it in and say google.com, or we can find the page that we want to link to from within our website, and then we can add the link, and now that is a link. If you're going through this and you're making changes, then at any point you can click Preview Changes and see what it would look like if you were to publish it. You can check to see if everything is coming together the way you want it to. Now it's looking okay. Let's see, we can add an image in here. And so we can go up here, find what the images we want. We want another picture of a guy golfing, and then we can pick a size down here. I'm just going to make this one a little tiny thumbnail for right now. With the alignment, then you can make it float to the left, and then the text will wrap around it, or go to the right, or go to the center. We're going to make this go to the left right now, and now he's going to have that wrapping around him. He goes over there, and we think, we don't really like those bullet points getting broken up like that. And so then you can just click on this and drag it to wherever you're wanting it to go. And we'll try it down here, and we preview the change and see if that looks any better. It's looking a little better down there. So we're going to say, let's leave it there. We don't need to worry about these settings down here for the most part. Maybe not at all. When you're ready to make a change, you click Update, and it becomes live. You can also change this over to being a draft if you've decided you don't want it to be live on your website after all anymore. You could move it to the trash from here if you so desired. We don't really need to worry about parents and children on this site right now, and we don't have anything that's set up with featured images unless you want to set this so that then on social media it will have a certain image automatically pop up if someone shares this link. We decide we're going to leave because we don't want to save any of those changes we just made. And if we ever do delete a page, you click Trash It. Let's see, we actually do want to do this one. This is a good way to do an example. So we have the sample page from the beginning that's still left on the website, and it goes over here to trash. It's not actually gone yet. It's off of the website and it's not accessible to people from the outside, but it's still here. In case that was a mistake, it's wonderful to have that option. So we don't actually need this though, and so now we're going to click Delete Permanently, and now it will be gone forever. So we go back here. We also want to take a look at the contact page. And you'll see that there's not much content that looks meaningful here on the page. That's because we have these shortcodes set up on here. At the top we have the map. We'll show you how to use the map plugin here in a moment, but it comes with the shortcode, and so that shows up automatically right there. If you need to make changes to what shows up in that spot, that's done in a different place, but that's how you make it appear. And then down here we have the form, gravity forms. We looked at that a moment ago, and that's how that appears there. Now, it's very easy to get this gravity form to show up in this spot. You simply click Add Form, and you select the form you want. You decide, do you want the form title? Nope. Do you want the form description? No, I don't think so. You can enable Ajax or not. Probably doesn't make a difference on this particular form, but I'm in the habit of clicking it anyway. And then we look here, and there it is, just as we want it to be. You can click Update, make it live. You can always preview the changes like we've been doing right now. We'll leave this. Everything should be the same anyway, but we won't save it just to make sure. We have a photos page here. You can see that these are not actually showing up here directly in the editing area, but then they are here. That's because this comes from a thing called Foo Gallery. And Foo Gallery is actually going to be our next step. So let's move on to that. We have Foo Gallery here, and this has already been set up with these photos. If you want to rearrange these photos, you simply click and drag. If you want to add new photos to this, you go in here, and you click Add Media, and then it's there. When you want to make a change, you click Update. You can make some changes down here to the individual settings on this for the height and such, but what it does right now is it automatically makes those all fit in there nicely. And so then this one's a really wide image, so it makes it really wide across here, but then it puts in this one and it can fit it in there in a little corner there. We have all different widths and heights of images, but then it puts it together very nicely. I believe we also have some holes on here. Maybe it's under golf. Yeah, there we go. This works in the same basic way. These are hopefully in order right now. They are in the order in the numbers there, but we've never golfed there, so I don't know absolutely for sure. Hopefully they are. If you ever need to make a change, or you have a new image you think better reflects that hole, or you change a hole, then you can move it around, or you can add a new image. You can delete them by clicking here. You can make changes again down here, like we said before, to the size of this, although it's working fine as it is right now. If you ever want to put this into a page, you can do two things. You can copy the short code right here, just click on it and then it's copied, and then you can paste it in. Or you can also click Add Foo Gallery, and then you can choose which one it is. I think we're on the general page there. And then you insert it, and then there it is. And then you can click Preview to make sure that it's working as it should. Yep, everything looks good. And then you click Update, because you know you feel good about that. If you ever need to add a new one, you just click Add New. And you can look at the settings on the other ones to try to match what we've done before, or you can just go through here and experiment yourself. No harm in doing that. You don't ever need to really change the settings. No need to add extensions, I don't believe. We have Genesis down here, nothing you need to change under Genesis. In appearance, most of these things don't matter, but a couple of them matter a great deal. We have widgets here. These widgets control two things. They control what appears, I guess three things. What appears in the, four, we'll just keep going. In the header, in the footer, in the home page, and in the sidebar that appears on, I think all of our pages have a sidebar. So this part over here on the right, it controls all of those things. So we'll do the header first. We have the text here, it says Indian Tree Golf Course. Right here, it says Indian Tree Golf Course. That's where that comes from. And then we have it set up so that then this image, I believe, is going in there automatically. It's a little different than we have set it up on most of our websites, but it shows up there. If you ever need to change out the actual logo here, then let us know, because it looks like that's something only we can control, which is not the way we normally do things. This time it is. We have the menu there. You don't control what's in the menu from this place, but it does make it so it will appear in this spot. You shouldn't really ever need to make any changes to the header. If you do, let us know and we'll help you out. Now we have this primary sidebar. That's what shows up on this right side. And so we have tee times, rates, we have the map, and we have the contact us here. But you'll notice that we have a few more than that actually showing up on here. And the reason we have these additional ones is because some of these pages need different information on them. So we have tee times, and we say that we want that to show up on everything but the driving range. So it says hide widget on selected, and then we have hiding it on driving range. And you'll notice that we don't have those tee times there, because they are not applicable to the driving range. It doesn't make sense to have them there. So we say hide it here. So where do we get that slash driving range? Well, it's right here, right? So then we just copy that, paste it in here, and then we say it's hidden there. And then you update it, and then that's what we have. We have these rates, and again, we have that hidden on the driving range. And then we have driving range rates, and then we have this to show only on the driving range. We have this map, and we have it to be hidden on the contact and driving range pages. And we have a different map that we need to show on the driving range one, because they're located in different places, as I recall. We have a bit more information that shows up here. You can make changes to any of this, go in, edit it, see if it works. If it doesn't, go back and make other changes. We don't have a secondary sidebar, and I don't think we ended up using that. I don't believe that's used, so let's not worry about that. We have a revolution slider here. This is what makes it so there's a slideshow on the home page. This is the slideshow here that fills up the entire home page. You don't make changes directly through the widgets again on this, but it just makes it so it appears in that spot. We don't have anything in home bottom, nothing in subfooter left, nothing in subfooter right. But then in the footer, we do have a bit of information. That's this stuff that goes down here. And so we have the text here for each one of these things. You can go in and make changes to it as needed. We're not using footer 2, 3, 4, and we're not doing after entry because that would only apply if you were having post on here and you're not using post for anything. That's all the widgets. And then we also have menus over here. And if you want to make a change to the menu, you make it here. You can click and drag these things around, move them wherever you want, whatever order you want them to be in. If you want to change the exact way that it's said, then you can do it here. You see about the width that we have going on this site. You might have room to add something a little more. You probably don't want to add a whole lot. If you add some more and it gets too crowded and it can't fit, let us know and we can help out with that. We can make it so that it will fit a little bit more nicely. You can look at all your pages here and add them to the menu. You could do post if you had them, but you don't. And so then you can also make custom ones though. And then we can add them like this. And there we go. You can also do categories, but we're not using categories on this page either. If you want to make that live, you click Save Menu, and then it would make it live here on this page. But we don't need to make any changes right now, so we're going to leave it as it is. We have plugins down here, and you can add plugins if you want to have additional functionality on your website. It might work well. It might not work well. It'd probably be best if you gave us a call or sent an email, and we could help you out to make sure you were picking the right plugin to accomplish whatever it was you were wanting to accomplish. Although you can experiment on your own, and you're welcome to do that. You're probably not going to do anything that breaks the site to a point that we can't restore it, because we have backups of the site that happen every night. We have users here. I'm going to leave this and not save it. And under users, we have Indian Tree 417. And we have me and MegaF6, and we don't really need that. So we will get rid of that user there. If you want to add a new user though, then you go up here, click Add New, enter in the username, and you need to have an email. It doesn't have to be a real one necessarily, although that would be ideal. But you have to have something entered in there. You can enter in the first name, last name if you want to, not really essential. You can enter in a website, again, not essential. We have the password part here though, and it generates a password automatically, and it's a difficult password, not one that you would remember. That's to make the site secure. But you can make up your own, but what we don't want is doing a weak password like this. It makes the site more vulnerable to being hacked, and we want to protect your website and make sure that it is an experience that is good for your users, and they don't get any error messages saying that you have a site that is a security threat. So you should at least make up a good one. That's still weak, right? So add in whatever you need to do to make it strong. Do something that you can remember. We want it to be at least medium, hopefully strong. We have different roles here. Most of the time, if you're adding someone, it's going to be as an administrator. An administrator can do anything on here. An editor can make changes to posts and pages. An author can create and edit their own things, but nobody else's. A contributor, I don't remember the exact way that works. Similar thing to an author. Some slight difference, doesn't really matter. And subscribers are not something that you're doing right now. You click Add New User and they are added. Anytime you need to make a change to a password, you go in here and you can edit what is here and make whatever changes you need. Enter in a new password here. You have to save it once you're done. Make a lot of other changes. Most of them don't make any difference for what you're doing. We have tools, and there aren't any tools that are needed on your site. Settings, not too much. Nothing really that you need to look at there. You can look through those things if you want to, but for the most part they should all be fine. We're not using Soliloquy right now. FooBox just makes it so that then on these photos, when you click on them, that they are enlarged like this, and pop up like that. But there's nothing you really ever need to do on it to make any changes. Then we get to Slider Revolution, and on Slider Revolution, this is what controls the slides on the home page. And we're going to click Edit here. And you can see that we have our background image here, and we have these 3 background images all together. But there's no other content on here, and you know there is on the home page. And so where does that come from? Well, it's from here on this static stuff. So what we have right now are images rotating in the background, and then the content that is on top of that staying as it is all the time. And we can put in this. It's not loading. It should. Let's refresh and see what's going on with that. No, well, that's what it should do. But it's not right now. Well, at any rate, these are the things that show up in that place. If you ever need to make a change to the times or to the pricing, this is where it would be done. You have each one of these things here, and you can select it this way as well. We have these are the little menus that pop out of there. You don't want to really move them around too much, but if you need to make a change to them, just double click them, find your price. You can move it up to $326 if you can get people to pay for that. Click the little check mark, and then click Save, and it becomes live on the site. You can do the same thing with the times here. Double click, make whatever changes you need, and we can make them. Click Save, it becomes live. If you need to change colors, want to make any other adjustments, you can. It might not work absolutely perfectly. We have animations that happen with these. They fade in. These probably slide down. Yep, these slide down. You can make changes to how long that takes. You can make changes to what the animation is. You can adjust the colors of the text, or you can make changes to the color of the background. All these things are available for you to do, but we have it set up mostly looking nice right now, so you might just want to leave it and just make changes to the text, but you're welcome to experiment as much as you want. If you have trouble, let us know. If you decide that these are not the photos you want anymore, then you can change them out. You go in here, we have this main background image is being set here. Click Change Image, enter in whatever it is you want, put in whatever you want there, click Save, it becomes live. If you want to have a new one, then you can add a blank slide, or if you want to make sure that it keeps maintaining the same sort of movement like ours do right now and all the settings are the same, you can click Duplicate, and then all you need to do is just change out the image on the new one, and then you can have your fourth slide. But we don't want that. If you click this little red button here, that does not delete it, that just makes it so it's not live. If you want to delete it, then you click Delete, and then it's gone. Now we're back to the way we were initially. WordFence is for security, and you don't really need to worry about that, but we have it on there to make sure that your website is well protected. And then we have WP Google Map, and let's go to Manage Maps here. We have two maps that are appearing, three I guess, but with just a couple locations here on the site. And we have locations within each one of these. And so if we click Edit on here, we need to make a little change here in just a moment when we're going through. But when we go on Edit here, then we can see that we have the Indian Tree Golf Course on the map, but we don't have the Indian Tree Driving Range. We could have both of them if we want to on there, and check that off and have both appear on that map. A lot of other controls, most of them are already set as they need to be. You shouldn't need to worry too much about this. But if you do make changes, you come down here and click Save Map. And you'll notice that where we have Manage Maps here, then we have these little shortcodes. And all that means is you just copy that, paste it into the page or the post or the widget area that you want it to appear in, and then the map will show up in that spot. If you want to add a new location, you can do that as well. You enter in the basic information that you need for this. You type in whatever info you need, and type in the address. It will fill in the latitude and longitude if you keep on typing, and you can set it to what shows up if you click on there. And then you can make it so it has a little golf logo that pops up with it. Click Save Location, and then it can be added to any of the maps. While we're here, we're going to fix something. There was an update to this that now requires Google Maps API key. And let's just check in to be sure that everything is still working as it should. And it is. So everything's okay. Everything is wonderful with that. Should be most of how you operate the website. Should be most of everything you need to know. If you have other questions, though, we're happy to help out anytime. We will gladly give you advice on how to do what you need to do. And if there's a change that you just can't get, let us know. If there's something that's not working right, let us know. We should be able to get it set up pretty quickly.